What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Sunday, February the 7th. Good morning, everyone. It's a new week and I have some updated news to share with you today. The Biden administration has stated that they want to change the income eligibility requirements in order to receive the third stimulus check. This would ultimately limit the amount of people who would receive the $1,400 stimulus payments. And because of that, Bernie Sanders is not happy. He is now criticizing the Democrats for even thinking of making this change. Also, we have a deadline that Biden needs to meet to get the stimulus relief bill passed. So we need to talk about that and the needs to get this done in order to meet the deadline. Now, those are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today. If this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, and stimulus update news. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the like button for me if you enjoy this type of content. It doesn't cost you a single dime for me to bring this information to you, and all I ask is for a simple press of the like button, as it really helps out the channel. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What's up, guys? It appears that changing of the income eligibility requirements is almost official. Looks like the Democrats have introduced a new stimulus plan adjustment that would change the income thresholds in order for Americans to receive the next stimulus check. I mentioned to you on the last video that it was initially just a thought process in order to get the Republicans on board to support this bill. But we figured it wouldn't happen since the Democrats have decided to move on without the support of the GOP. Well, looks like a new stimulus plan was introduced by President Biden, and it would lower the income thresholds for individuals from $75,000 per year to only $50,000 per year. And for married couples, it would reduce from $150,000 to $100,000 per year, which means that millions of Americans who receive the stimulus check under President Trump would not receive one from President Biden. Which I am all for this to happen, especially considering that a lot of people who are still working their jobs and making great money still ended up receiving a stimulus check from the previous round. I personally believe that the people who are still able to work their normal jobs and receive their normal paychecks should not receive a stimulus check. Like myself, yes, this would hurt me, but I believe that majority of the money should go to the ones who have been directly affected by the pandemic from a monetary perspective. And what I mean by that is the people who lost their income from their jobs, the ones who lost their jobs or even lost hours at work, or maybe the people who still have their job but unable to work because the pandemic restrictions in their state prevent them from going back to work. Those are the ones who should receive larger stimulus checks. Someone like myself who gets to work from home every day and receive the same paycheck should not be entitled to receive a stimulus check. Those monies should be directed or more targeted to the ones who are struggling right now, including those who are on Social Security benefits such as SSI or SSDI. As food prices have almost doubled in this country, those people need more money to keep food on the table, which they have tried to increase the SNAP food stamp benefits as well. They added an additional 15% increase to the SNAP food stamp benefits for this year from January through June. But for some people, that's just not enough, and they should receive a larger stimulus check than others. But the new stimulus relief plan would only limit people receiving the economic stimulus payments through the income thresholds. And this has caused Bernie Sanders to be furious about the proposed changes. Bernie Sanders is now criticizing the Democrats for reducing the income thresholds on stimulus checks. Biden shared his frustration Saturday morning in a few tweets, calling this change unbelievable. He said, "There are some Dems who want to lower the income eligibility for direct payments from $75,000 to $50,000 for individuals and $150,000 to $100,000 for couples. In other words, working class people who got checks from Trump would not get them from Biden." Brilliant. Now, we pretty much knew Sanders was going to be against this idea, as he would like to see even more money given to the American people. And I do too. I just don't want the money to go to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Everyone in America is not suffering right now. However, there are enough millions of people who are suffering, and that's who should receive these $1,400 stimulus payments. And they probably should be receiving even $2,500 stimulus payments if it was up to me and Bernie Sanders. Bernie continued to show his unrest with another tweet following the previous one. Bernie tweeted, "I strongly oppose lowering income eligibility for direct payments from $75,000 to $50,000 for individuals and $150,000 to $100,000 for couples. In these difficult times, all working class people deserve the full $1,400. Last I heard, someone making $55,000 a year is not rich." But tell me something, guys. Do you agree with me that everyone in America shouldn't be receiving an economic stimulus payment if they are still able to work with no direct effects from the pandemic? Or do you think that people should receive a payment regardless if their income was changed due to the pandemic? Let me know your thoughts down below. We may actually disagree on this one, guys, which is totally fine. We don't make these decisions in America, obviously. Those in Congress make the decisions for us regular folk, right? But I do want to know where you guys stand. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. And then we see that the AOC responded to Bernie's tweets. She said that it would be outrageous if we ran on giving more relief and ended up doing the opposite. She said it's sad that this is even an argument in the Democratic Party. The pandemic relief is disaster relief and it's urgent. Our first act out of the gate should be big, bold, and strong, not weaker and smaller. And with that being said, I agree with the AOC. The Democrats pushed hard on providing more for the American people. And I think that if they could just give larger stimulus payments, such as $2,500 check or $3,000 checks to less people, that would be a big and bold move. I think the focus should be on the amount that they give to the American people, not about the amount of people they give it to. Would you agree with me? Remember they gave the measly $600 stimulus checks to everyone in January? Everyone was complaining about how it was chump change and it wouldn't even pay for 1 month's rent for most Americans. No one was complaining about how many people was actually receiving the stimulus checks. The main concern was on the amount of the money given. And the Dems could go big and bold by offering larger $3,000 stimulus checks, by reducing the amount of people who would be eligible to receive them. Would you agree? My thought process tells me that the people making less than $50,000 per year as an individual or less than $100,000 per couple would probably need this stimulus check more than those who actually make more than that. That's just my assumption. But you know what? It probably depends on where each person lives in order to make that statement. $100,000 here in Texas is totally different from $100,000 in California or New York. So considering that, there's probably no right answer to this problem at all. Then the AOC followed up with, in conclusion, $50,000 is whack and we shouldn't do whack things. The AOC is a little spunky, I see. So all in all, that's the new changes to Biden's America Rescue Plan. Let's see if they finalize this change in the coming days. Speaking of which, the Biden administration has come out again on Saturday with a bold statement that they plan to have the stimulus relief bill passed by the end of February. The House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that they should be ready to pass this bill without the support of Republicans by the end of this month. As you may recall, the $900 billion stimulus bill passed by President Trump was signed at the end of December, which included the unemployment benefits of $300 per week. Well, those benefits will expire on March the 14th, so it's crucial to get this new stimulus bill signed before that extension of the unemployment benefits actually expires. Biden's American Rescue Plan would increase the weekly benefits from $300 per week to $400 per week. Congress will need to approve of that new bill and the amendments before then, and Pelosi has expressed her confidence that Congress will pass legislation before the deadline. Nancy Pelosi said in a press conference on Friday that they absolutely can. Without any question, Pelosi says. Pelosi said that they will be working on the specifics of this bill starting tomorrow. And hopefully in the next 2 weeks, they will send something over to the Senate to review. And Congress should finish the work before the end of February. Now, if they are able to meet their deadline before the end of February and pass this piece of legislation, we could start seeing stimulus payments being distributed in early March. But of course, the Democrats have stated a more conservative date of like mid-March to receive the $1,400 stimulus checks. Now, in other news, while all of this stimulus discussions are going on, Biden is making a huge effort to normalize the White House. So we all have heard from the media how the White House was very chaotic during the Trump administration. Lots of anonymous complaints from staff members as well as members in his administration. Biden is trying to end that and bring a sense of normalcy back to the White House and the government. President Biden has been receiving daily briefings and speaking to the media. He is also sending press releases every day. So really making an effort to make the people in the administration as well as all of the White House workers feel more comfortable than they have been in the past. And then one of Biden's aides made a jab at the former President Trump. Now we don't know who this aide was, but they said, "I think one of the main objectives here was giving the presidency a sense of normalcy. Enough of the crazy we experienced for the past 4 years." Then Representative Steve Israel said that it's so funny. I hear from friends on both sides of the aisle how cleansing is to wake up in the morning without the feeling that the day will be inflamed by a crazy tweet. Now, y'all know that Trump loved to tweet early in the morning, and I actually miss his tweets. I got so many laughs out of them. I actually had his tweets on push so that I could receive them every morning. But anyways, guys, this has been your third stimulus check update news for today. If you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot and it tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community. And hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.